How does that feel?
No, I think it's fantastic. Woots is a great leader. Probably helps me out a little bit, leading from the back whilst I can lead from the front. Got a big squad. And so I think it's important to recognise some of the big leaders in the club, and I think it will help me out a lot as well. So I'm looking forward to this year, and I'll still lead the boys.
Do you have loftier expectations this year with the squad that's been put together?
Absolutely. I think on paper it's a great squad, especially the starting 11. I can't imagine there's too many other sides in the league that have a stronger one. So I'd expect us to be right up there. And it's just important that we recognise last year and kick on from that. It's a fresh start. It's been a long off-season and pre-season, so we've had a lot of time to get things right. And I think we've got a big chance of being right up there this year.
Adam, you spoke about the leadership and sharing that responsibility. The acquisition of Tom Lawrence, how much will that help you out from feeling as though maybe you have to carry the entire group?
Yeah, look, I felt like celebrating when we signed him. Fantastic for myself, but more importantly, fantastic for the club. He's a top player who's had a great career. In the few days he's been in training, he's looking really good. So I'm looking forward to that partnership, and I'm looking forward to him representing the club and helping us kick on. And from a creativity point of view, he's the best you can get. Can't think of anyone better to help assist and help us with the goals. So really looking forward to joining up with him and watching him play this year.
What can we expect from the two of you together, and how long does it take to gel and get that relationship and that understanding?
Yeah, it's always hard to say. You never know. Some things can click straight away. Some things take a little bit of time. But I love the way he plays. I've watched him a lot throughout my career, so it's been great to see him the last few days in training. But I think in terms of him, you'd expect goals and assists, and to give the fans something to cheer about. I think he'll excite people, and we've been missing that for the past couple of years. So can't wait for him to get started.
Scott, you mentioned up on stage when you were contemplating joining the door, you rang Tags. Do you remember what he said to you at the time?
No, not the exact details of the conversation, but look, Tags is someone I'd played against, numerous times. Scored a couple of unbelievable goals against, Wellington when I played there, and we played together in the All-Stars camp at the end of the season a couple of years ago, and I knew he was a good player, but just in training and in that game, he was a level above what he thought. So when I knew Perth were interested in signing me, I reached out to him, and he's like I said on stage, he's a major part of why players would want to come here to play alongside him. And having a player like Tags, in the squad in this league, when he can score, I think he scored 20 goals a couple of years ago when the team finished bottom. So having that weapon and that calibre of player in your squad is exciting prospect to when you're looking at joining the club. So I just remember sending him I think it was an Instagram message, just asking a little bit of information on the club and making sure that he was going to be here long term. And that was part of the reason, like I said.
Is it mean to be captain in your first season?
Yeah, it's I'm very, very grateful to the gaffer for trusting me with this role alongside Tags. And as Tags alluded to, I think it's good that two players, similar ages, similar experiences, opposite ends of the pitch, I think can only bode well for the squad. And it's something that I'll take that responsibility very, very seriously on behalf of the players and in between the players and the staff. And like I say, I'm very, very grateful and proud and honoured to share this with Tags.
Scott, Tom Lawrence mentioned when he arrived and he spoke to you and coming to the club. Can you speak a little bit about any little role that you played in learning him to come into Perth and your history together down the years?
Yeah, so Tom was 2 years younger than me in the youth team when we were kids, and he was a talent. You knew he was going to have a really good career back then. He was head and shoulders above anybody else in his age group. He obviously, like Tag said, he's had a fantastic career. He's played hundreds of games in the Championship, was at Leicester City, Derby County for years and years, Welsh international. So his calibre and his CV speaks for itself. And in terms of him coming here, I got a phone call from Stan just asking me what he was like as a character, and I couldn't believe it really when I thought we had a chance of signing him. And then as soon as Stan put the phone down, I picked the phone up straight to Tom and told him that he's exactly what we needed. like Tags just said, that creativity and that spark will take a bit of pressure off Tags, but also help him massively, in terms of Tom's his football IQ, his intelligence, his eye for a goal, his eye for a pass. In the A-League for me would be top tier, and it's exciting for me as a defender, knowing that this partnership hopefully will come to fruition this year. And I just told him we've got a really good bunch of boys. We've got, told him about Tags, told him about JK. It'll be exciting for him. It's a beautiful place to live and raise his family, and hopefully that might have played a small part in him coming here. But we're delighted to have him.
And defensively, how do you think that yourself, Brian, Chabelle, Sam, all the new arrivals to shore up the defence, which was a real sort of issue for last year for Perth, how do you feel that you've worked to address that over the off-season?
Well, yeah, I think they've obviously identified that, and that's why, Sam Sutton, Chabelle, myself, Brian, we've been brought to the club to help fix those problems, and not just last year. I think the year before, even the year before that, since I've certainly been in the league, Perth's defensive record hasn't been something to shout about. So that was a motivating factor for me coming here. Really, at Wellington, we always prided ourselves on having a strong record defensively and being hard to beat. And like I say, that was a big factor in me wanting to come here and change that here at Perth, because not just last year, but for a number of years now, Perth have conceded too many goals to compete for trophies in this league. And history shows if you can keep the back door shut in the A-League, you'll have a good chance of being successful. And like we just said, the likes of Tags, Tom Lawrence, Kucharski, these guys can score. So as long as we've got to do our job of keeping the back door shut.
In terms of Saturday's game, gents, what are you expecting? Obviously a personal one for you, Scott, having come from Wellington. In the off-season, we played them last game of last year, then in the Cup as well. How do you think things are going to pan out at HBF this weekend?
Always difficult to know in the first round. Form, there's no form to go off. I think pre-season is much of a muchness, really. You can't read too much into the results in pre-season. I think Wellington have had a very strong pre-season in terms of the results they've had and the performances. But I think it'll be a tight affair. Usually round one games are pretty cagey, pretty tight. Teams not giving much away. I know Wellington have got a good record in coming to Perth in recent years, so they'll be quietly confident, I'm sure, but we're also confident with the squad of players we've got available to go and win the match.